Now batting for the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number two.
Welcome back. This is episode 94 of the NYYST podcast, presented to you by NYYSportsTalk.com. I'm your host, Christian. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And Stat Guy Rye.
What up?
It's our first show of 2019, fellas.
2019. How was your New Year's, pal?
Ugh. I had to spend it with you, unfortunately.
And my kids, my wife.
Yeah. And my wife.
Poor you.
Poor me.
Should have went out.
I was trying to stay home, to be honest with you.
That's how I felt at your stupid Christmas party that I went to when I was hungover.
My stupid Christmas party.
Yep.
Your stupid New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, that's it. We're both on the same page. You got me back. You had your revenge.
So it was just you two here on New Year's? Just the two of you?
The kids and
we held
the
hands.
Kids. Oh, the kids were
we
here.
didn't
And the ball
hold
dropped.
hands.
Oh, you guys watched the ball drop?
And then we set off fireworks.
I don't even remember the ball drop. No, I do. I was just getting sleepy by 12.
That's what happens when you drink a whole bottle of Jameson to yourself.
Did you
Yeah.
really do that?
I drank a lot, like a big bottle.
People
of it.
can't see what you're doing right now. Ryan's
Yeah.
actually
Ryan was
measuring.
showing
Christian.
the size of the bottle.
No, they saw it.
Oh,
It
they
was
did?
huge.
Yeah, they could tell.
Huge bottle.
Huge.
I had to apologize to your wife because she thought I was having a miserable time because I was with you and
You waited
company.
for your apology to me to be on air during the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, generally my answer would be I was having a bad time because I was in your presence, but we did have your surprise 30th birthday Saturday.
Which was absolutely incredible. Thank you to my wife and everyone who showed up and helped. And your wife. And all you guys.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Ryan did nothing.
Yeah, I really didn't do anything, but Meg and Lindsay did a whole lot of work for you, Chris.
That was incredible.
Yeah,
And then I had a wedding Sunday night, which was just a shit show.
Yeah, I saw videos. Let's talk about my party for a second. How the game, what was it? Game 5
yeah.
of the 2000 World Series.
Perfect
Christian and
touch.
Ryan are sitting in front of the TV screaming at it like the game's live.
I miss baseball.
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
recreate how you are watching games. It's for your birthday.
Thanks.
It's for you.
And then by the time we got to New Year's Eve, I was finished.
I don't blame you.
Like, I can't do 3 days in a row anymore.
I understand. I'm an understanding person, unlike you.
Watching that game, though, you're right, dude. This is definitely the most I've missed baseball at this point of the year.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
I'm just craving it.
Yeah, I miss it. It needs to be back.
I don't know if it's because this was the first full year we've really thrown ourselves into this outlet that we're like junkies and we're get high off of baseball, and now we don't have it anymore.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Listen,
And we're jonesing for it like a crackhead. Like, I need a hit. I need a hit.
I need
funny?
my 3 hours. I need 3 hours. I need 3 hours.
we had the big story with Stanton last offseason, right?
Yeah.
But this offseason's been somewhat slower as well, but I feel like we've had a lot more content to continually do shows and not really grasp for straws.
We've been, honestly, it's been a struggle to get through some of these shows.
But
'cause
not as
we've
much as last year, though.
We had 2 major stories carry us last year. The Yankees hired a new manager and traded
You know
for
what
the
it is,
reigning
though?
MVP.
You know what it is? This whole Machado stuff being dragged out, it just gives you new things to talk about with it every single week.
But what is there to talk about? Like, what is he doing right now?
Why does Manny Machado have to make a decision so soon?
Because I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit surrounding where is he going, why haven't the Yankees signed him?
But that's the thing, right? The Yankees did their part. And Cashman's not supposed to just sit around and wait. He still has to be proactive. What if Manny doesn't make his decision for another 3 weeks? He still has to make moves. What do you think? I mean, everyone thinks him making moves means that he gave up on Machado. Absolutely not. He's being proactive. He needs to be.
No, and I agree. And we actually have a lot of stuff to talk about in this episode because there are a few different things that happened since the last time we recorded, which was before the new year. You know, Zach Britton is back with the Yankees. We're recording Sunday morning. He signed late Saturday night. D-Rob went to the Phillies. Cashman kind of backtracked off a trade in Sonny Gray a little bit. which we have to get into. Tulowitzki's a New York Yankee, probably 6 years too late, but he's here now. And we got to talk about everybody who couldn't read a friggin' chart to save their life when they were in a sophomore in high school, but all of a sudden now everybody's got one on Twitter. So we have to talk about that too.
A chart?
A chart.
What chart?
A payroll chart.
Oh, right. Right.
So since we're talking about Machado, let's do Tulowitzki first. Let's get him out of the way.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's not too much to talk about, but it is something to talk about.
It absolutely is something to talk about.
I love this move by the Yankees bringing in Troy Tulowitzki. It has zero risk and huge reward for the ball club. You're really only looking to get, 3-4 months out of Troy Tulowitzki. You're not even looking to get a full season out of him.
Or he shows up healthy and he plays, a decent season. He's Troy Tulowitzki still. He just hasn't been healthy.
He didn't play at all last year. Ryan can look this up.
He played 60 games in the last 2 years.
Ryan's got to do his job more in 2019. He's kind of gotten away from doing his job.
I think in 2016 was his last full season.
Yeah, so Ryan's got to look up how many games he played.
But he had almost 30 home runs.
30 games in 2017.
He didn't play at all last year, right?
17. No, he didn't play at all. And then I think he played 60 in
26 in 2017.
But here's where I go with Troy Tulowitzki. It's no risk. You're paying him $500,000, so there's no financial risk at all.
And you had there's being reports that 16 other teams showed interest after his workout.
And the crazy thing is, because of that, he had leverage, and the Yankees put a no trade clause in his contract.
Yes. And here's the thing,
which you would think you really don't think anything of that. Right, Troy Tulowitzki, who's going to want him? But if let's say the Yankees get Machado and Andujar's here, and Didi comes back healthy, and Troy Tulowitzki's playing well, you got to trade somebody,
right? Yeah, and apparently it all stemmed from after he was traded in Colorado
to Toronto, which
right.
I would be pissed off about too.
But so he didn't play at all last year. He played 66 games in 2017, 131 in 2016, and 128 in 2015.
He's never been a guy that really, right? Has he ever played like 150 games in a season?
The most he played was 155 was in 2007, 151 in 2009.
Wow.
143 in 2011.
So he's been a guy that's always missed time.
But here's the thing. Did we get Troy Tulowitzki? And did we spend a crazy amount of money where that's a huge risk to us right now? If he gets injured, there's no risk.
It's the definition of low risk, high reward.
If he gets hit by a bus going to Sarasota to play, look up who plays in Sarasota. I know that's a spring training spot there.
But we always talk about upside.
But if he gets hit by a bus on a trip to Sarasota to play, oh my God, who?
Sarasota Reds.
Really? That's where the Reds train?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say he... and he can't play the rest of the year. It's really, what are you losing?
Right. As long as he doesn't, you hope he's not too injured from the bus hit.
What number does he go with? I'm saying number 12.
Wow.
Well,
will they let that happen after Headley and Andy Phillips?
Tyler Wade.
What about your buddy there, Tyler Wade?
Well, he's taking his spot on the 25.
Really, he should wear 22 because we know that's never going to be worn this year.
Never.
I was thinking that, but Ellsbury's going to play.
But he's really, his bronchitis still hasn't cleared up.
Listen, we talk about upside, right, all the time. That's all you have to look at in things like this. Think of the upside that Tulowitzki brings to this club. If Didi wasn't injured right now and they just went out on a limb and got Troy Tulowitzki, then you could sit here and say it was pointless or whatever. It still
wouldn't be pointless.
It still wouldn't be. But I'm saying you'd have a little bit more of a case at that point. This is a team that everyone thinks that just because Cashman went out and got him, that means he's giving up on Manny Machado. It absolutely does not mean that. It means that Brian Cashman isn't going to sit around for another 2-3 weeks, however long it takes Machado to sign, and just let things go and just sit back and kick his feet up. He's got to be proactive.
He can't be caught with his pants down. That Machado goes somewhere else, and then all the other options to play shortstop are gone because he waited on one guy.
And I said this too, if you have the opportunity to get Troy Tulowitzki, I don't care how injured he's been, if you have the opportunity to get him after you've seen his workout. He looks healthy. He looks ready to go. If you have an opportunity to get him at league minimum when your shortstop is hurt, if you want to take every negative and put it into this deal, fine. But think of the one positive. He's not going anywhere else. What if he does become a really big impact player this year somehow? You got him at league minimum. You're keeping him from other teams just as much as it is you getting him.
Well, his former manager, John Gibbons, said that maybe the bat might not be there, but there's one thing that Tulo can still do, and he can still pick it short.
Yeah, okay. He still has good range at short.
And honestly, this is what I was saying about signing Adeiny Echeverria. Isn't that really what you want right now, to somebody to be a really good defender at shortstop?
Yeah, the only thing with Tulo, though, is that if he's truly healthy, I think he can be a much better hitter than Adeiny Echeverria would be.
No, yeah, he's got a better bigger upside in being a better hitter than Etch does. But
so that's where the move just makes sense.
But if he's a 210 hitter, but he's playing close to Gold Glove defense, I don't care.
And then everyone's all bent out of shape that Cashman came on and said, we expect him to be our starting shortstop. What's he supposed to say?
He doesn't have another shortstop now.
What is he supposed to say? What is he supposed to? Is he supposed to sit there and say, "Yeah, we got him, but we expect him to be hurt by the time the season starts"? No.
What they wanted him to say was, "Manny Machado is going to be my shortstop," but you can't. He's not a Yankee,
right?
You can't be like, "Oh yeah," like I'm sure he loved Mike Trout to play center field,
right?
But he's like, "Yeah, Mike Trout's my center fielder," but I know he plays for another team.
The problem is, all these fans have Manny Machado on this team or whoever they want on this team. Just because Cashman makes those statements doesn't mean he doesn't want Manny Machado on this team. He has to be realistic. He has to see what he has in front of him. Right now, Troy Tulowitzki is the starting shortstop as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. People got bent out of shape. Like, oh, the Yankees are cheap, and that's why they got Tulo, and because they don't want to spend the money on Machado.
Right.
No, it's because they need an insurance policy. It doesn't matter. The Yankees could offer Manny Machado 40 years and $10 billion. He could still say no to that.
Right.
And then what are you supposed to do?
Right. It's not, the ball is no longer in the Yankees' court. Manny Machado hasn't made a decision. There's no counter offer right now. They made their offer. They met with him. They did what they had to do. If Manny Machado comes back to them with a bigger deal that they need to match or whatever, and it's out of the Yankees' range where they feel comfortable paying him, then so be it. I mean, am I going to be upset? Yeah, I'm going to be upset if Manny Machado isn't a Yankee. I really want him here. I do. It's Manny Machado. But to your point last week, do they really need him to win a World Series? No. They got the guy that you said they needed, and that was a great move. And again, everyone thinks that they got Zach Britton now, they spent more money, that's it. Manny Machado's off the table. Wrong. You're wrong.
No, the Yankees are still in this. If they weren't, you would have heard like, oh, Yankees signed Britton, withdraw offer from Machado.
Right, exactly.
So that's not what happened. The Yankees offer to Machado was still on the table. There was a report that came out yesterday from a couple of, reputable people, not this, troll and jagoff Dan Clark, who, I mean, that was our mistake by, putting his name in a title of an episode we did.
Hey, he did. He reported it. That was the title of the episode.
Yeah, but he's, then more information came out about this guy that he's basically a nobody.
Right. Who cares? We discussed the nobody tweet about him reporting it, and we said, who knows? Do you take it with a grain of salt? Maybe you don't.
But, like I was saying, a couple, real reputable people said that there are no 10-year offers on the table for Machado. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gone towards $300 million. All the offers are believed to be in between 200 and 250.
Yeah.
So, that's not just the Yankees not going to $300 million. That's everybody not going to $300 million. So is everybody cheap now, or is it just still the Yankees?
Still the Yankees, bro. It's always just still the Yankees.
And I saw this morning that with signing Britton, the Yankees are either right on the line or right over. It's hard to estimate because you don't know exactly what guys are going to get in arbitration at the luxury tax threshold. So, again, are they being cheap? Because they still have to give all these arbitration numbers out. They're still engaged with Adam Ottavino. They're still out there trying to sign Manny Machado. So it's not like they're like, okay, we're here, we're at the luxury tax level, no more signings.
Can you shed some light on something for me? again, I give you credit for stuff like this. You're very good with stuff like this. If the Yankees were to just go out there and be obnoxious this year, right? Say they were just to go out and spend money on everyone wants them to get. Corbin, that was a big miss, right, for them. They should get Harper and Machado and Britton and Ottavino because they have the money, guys, right? Don't let them fool you. They have the money. Christian, what happens, right, when all of our young talent that we're paying nothing for comes up and it's time to sign them? Judge, Sanchez,
Trade it.
Torres,
Trade it.
Andujar.
Trade it. Walk.
What if Frazier becomes a huge superstar this year?
Trade it.
What happens then?
Free agent.
And here's the thing. I always say, don't worry about the future. Worry about right now. Here's the difference. We don't have a bunch of scrubs that we're barely paying anything to right now. We have guys right now who can win a championship. So you do have to care about them in the future. You do. Because it's not like we have a bunch of momos running out onto the field.
No, the Yankees have to. I know the fans don't want to hear it because they don't care about what happens tomorrow. They only care about what happens today. But if you're Hal Steinbrenner, if you're Brian Cashman, you have to have a 5-year plan.
You have to.
You're a friggin' idiot if you're running a business and don't have a 5-year plan.
And we're not talking about prospects. We're not talking
these
about
are major league stars.
Right. We're not talking about not trading guys now for the future. No, we're in agreement with that. Right now, if you're not ready to play in this team, screw you.
I don't care. Estevan Florial could be Mickey Mantle, but if the Cleveland Indians say, "Hey, you know what? If I'll take him and some lesser prospects, and you can have Corey Kluber," done. But that doesn't mean that I'm not worried about in 5 years that I'm going to have to pay Severino, Sanchez, Aaron Judge, Miguel Andujar, Gleyber Torres.
Right. And then what do you want? You want a bunch of guys with 7, 8 year deals, 6, 7, 8 year deals like Machado, Harper, Corbin. And then, when does Betances become a free agent? After this season?
Yeah.
You're going to want to sign him if he has a big year? No? I mean, you guys got to think about this. You have to.
All of their main contributors are barely making any money in terms of baseball salary.
And barely making any money, but producing on a level that no other prospects has ever come up and been this successful all at once to any team.
If they weren't on this team would be nothing right now. You have Judge, Severino, Sanchez, Betances, Torres, Andujar, Chad Green. Aaron Hicks isn't even being paid that much. That's the entire roster.
Well, if you take out Aaron Hicks, all those guys are making, about $600,000 or less?
It's crazy.
60 or less.
So no shit, we have a low payroll right now. It's not about the payroll when you have this kind of team constructed. That was the whole point in 2016. Get with it.
Yeah.
It's not just about right now when it comes to spending money. It's about looking at the talent that you have, evaluating the talent that you're putting on the field, and what you truly need to spend and lock up to win a World Series. I'm sorry.
You took it here, so let's go here now. I was going to wait till later in the show to do it, but you already brought it up, so let's do it. Getting all these tweets of the Yankees' revenue to payroll charts. Dude, you know what you can do with them? You can roll them in a ball, throw it in the garbage, or if you run out of toilet paper, wipe your ass with it.
Them. Yep.
Because all you're doing is looking at two numbers, but you don't take the time. I say this all the time. Take 10 seconds and think. Why has the Yankees payroll been going down in the last 2 seasons? It's not because they don't have a... this is my favorite. Hal doesn't care about winning because the payroll is going down. No. If you just take 10 seconds. If you're one of those people that tweet me charts and graphs and say payroll to revenue and Yankees make $600 million, but they only spend $160 on the payroll. First of all, in 2015, the Yankees were a bloated, old... even though they made the playoffs, they were bloated, they were old, they were boring.
They were us.
Isn't this a better team now?
Yes.
Think about what Brian Cashman did in a span of, 3-4 months?
3-4 seconds, it felt like.
Right? 2016, this team was hovering around 500. They were playing Tampa Bay, and then they just get swept.
Yep.
He said,
that was it.
He said, forget it, I'm done. This team sucks.
I woke up to a headline that said Andrew Miller traded.
He said, this team sucks. They're old. They're never going to win anything. It's time to go young. And then within of a season, this team is back in the postseason. Gets no credit for it.
And you want to actually even take it a step further? 2016 when they brought up Judge and Gary and
Tyler
Austin. Remember that
right?
surge of
Sevy was bad.
Remember that surge of energy you felt? And guess what? They weren't.
And Greg Bird.
They actually started to make a little bit of a run back into it. Not that you ever thought that they were realistically gonna make the playoffs, but you actually saw a bright future again.
But guys, guess what happens when Brian McCann is traded and Carlos Beltran is traded and A-Rod retires and Mark Teixeira retires and you replace him with Greg Bird, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez. Guess what happens?
Your payroll disappears.
Your payroll goes down. Why? Because you're paying guys $15, $20, $30 million a year, and you're replacing them with guys that are making $500,000 a year. And why? Was it because the Yankees are being cheap?
No.
Or did they have a plan in place to get younger and get better?
Someone sent me a chart where the Yankees were like 8th on the payroll right now, and they were flipping out. I said, this should make you ecstatic. Because look at the talent that is being put out there and producing at this payroll. Think about that. Think about that.
This is the two examples I always use right here. 2016, the Yankees said goodbye to Brian McCann, goodbye to Carlos Beltran. They were making what, $32 million a year, right there, and they replaced them with Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez, who make a combined $1 million and change.
It's crazy.
Who makes the Yankees better?
It's not even a debate. Not even close.
But you don't take the 10 seconds to think about that and just see that the Yankees shaved $30 million off the payroll. They're cheap. They don't care about winning. Who's fucking better, Aaron Judge or Carlos Beltran?
I'm going to go with Aaron Judge.
Who's better, Gary Sanchez or Brian McCann?
I'm going to go with Gary Sanchez.
But the Yankees don't care about winning because Brian McCann makes X dollars and Gary Sanchez doesn't, so that means that the payroll goes down.
And they should just spend on everyone and not care about when they have to sign the other guys, because guess what? They're cheap and they're probably not going to sign them anyway. That's the arguments I've had.
If you look at it, Sevy's your best pitcher. Aaron Judge is your best position player. You have one of the best catchers in baseball, I don't care what anybody says, in Gary Sanchez. And you have Miguel Andujar, who rakes. The guy just rakes. And then you got Gleyber Torres, who I think he was an all-star in his rookie year, and I think we all think he can hold up to that level.
Absolutely.
They make it combined we're using rough estimates, combined $2.5 million this season.
It's crazy.
If they were all free agents that you had to sign on the open market, what are you looking at? $120, $130 million you have to
easily
per season. You'd have to sign these guys for
easily.
Are the Yankees not better with these guys at those salaries than if they had to go out and sign players on the free agent market? Think of what Lance Lynn got in the free agent market next year.
It's crazy.
This past season.
That's a great example.
Who would you rather have starting for your baseball team, Luis Severino or Lance Lynn?
I'm going to go with Luis Severino.
Okay. We all liked Andrew McCutchen. We all thought he did a good job when he was a Yankee.
Loved him.
The guy got, what is he making, $16 million this past season? Who's a better player, Aaron Judge or Andrew McCutchen? Who would you rather see patrolling right field in Yankee Stadium, Aaron Judge or Andrew McCutchen?
Judge.
But who makes more money?
McCutchen.
Does money equate to talent now?
No, apparently it does.
Because that's what these fans that only complain about the payroll don't understand. Money does not equate to talent. And if you took 10 seconds to think about that, you'd be like, oh, wow, the Yankees aren't being cheap. They got younger. They got better. They shed all these terrible, disgusting contracts that made us old and boring and gave us, one playoff appearance from 2013 to 2017?
Here's how you break it down right here. It's as simple as this. Here's how I can prove to everyone listening that we are not just being biased Yankee homers, whatever you want to call us. Christian, if the Yankee, Ryan, you can answer this too. If the Yankees won 75 to 80 games last year, didn't make the playoffs, their payroll was sitting at 120 and they weren't being more aggressive signing all these guys, would you be a little bit more hesitant if all these guys came up and they weren't showing right away that they could be stars? Would you maybe say, all right, they gotta go do something, they gotta spend money, we need to get there? Would you be fighting that they need to spend more money? I
would still be a little bit patient because of this reason.
Understood.
Some of these guys I don't think fans really grasp how incredibly lucky we are that Aaron Judge superstar.
Right.
Right off the bat,
Right.
superstar.
Right.
Gary Sanchez, take away 2018. I'm going to chalk that up to injury. Came out and raked like no catcher since Mike
Right.
Piazza, right?
Right.
Luis Severino, you want to take his second half of last year into account, fine. But dude's got stuff and has pitched like an absolute ace in this league.
He has.
Okay. Miguel Andujar was probably the best hitter on the Yankees last season.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Torres.
Doubles machine. Gleyber Torres, rookie, made the All-Star team.
And we're still waiting to see Clint Frazier.
I'm just saying, that's what, 5 guys right there?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
That doesn't happen.
And what about Betances? What about Betances if he has a huge year? I mean, Betances was a guy who came up and who you want to talk about his downside and when he is all over the place, but take all that aside and go on Baseball Reference right now and look at all his stats. They are through the roof. Through the roof. This team is ready now, and I get that you want to be patient, but what I'm saying is, would you be a little bit more on everyone else's side saying, okay, something's got to give here. They do need to build upon what they have more than they're doing.
No, if you only had maybe like 1 or 2 of these guys hit at that level,
right.
then
that's what I'm saying.
You'd be like, okay,
Absolutely.
maybe we should throw some money out there and we need Bryce Harper. We definitely need Bryce
But
Harper.
be
this
more
team-
frustrated with Machado signing elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Did this team not make it to Game 7 of the ALCS in 2017? Did this team not win 100 games last season where any other year that team would have been in division winners?
You just have to chalk up last season to Boston Red Sox.
They were that
had
good.
A historic
And you know what?
season.
And we had a rookie manager. That's not easy.
No.
They did that with a rookie manager and a bunch of guys who are inexperienced, who are still learning the game at a major league level. They were able to accomplish what they did.
Do you know that I believe it was prior to the 2017 season, the Red Sox reset their luxury tax,
Did they?
and then they went out and spent a whole bunch of money?
Ah,
And what did the Yankees do?
they just reset theirs, I think.
And and then what did they do this offseason?
They're starting to spend some money, but not to the fans. They're not. But if they land every guy that they've shown interest in right now, that they're being very aggressive with, their payroll is going to be through the roof.
Who was the best relief pitcher on the open market?
Best relief pitcher on the open market,
Yeah.
Zach Britton.
Where is he right now?
He's on the Yankees.
If you don't take into account the gross overpay that Patrick Corbin got, who was the best starting pitcher on the open market?
Patrick Corbin.
If you don't take that into account, you take him out of the equation because he was grossly overpaid.
J Happ.
Where is he right now?
Yankees.
Okay.
And talk about trades.
Who was the best starting pitcher traded in the offseason?
James Paxton.
Where is he right now?
New York Yankees. Who's the second best relief pitcher right now available that you can argue is probably the second best free agent?
See, I know what you're saying, but I would put Robertson above Adam Ottavino.
Oh, you're crazy.
I think you're forgetting about Craig Kimbrell too. I think
I'm
Kimbrell's
not
the best.
big on Kimbrell. I'm not big on Kimbrell. You want to know why? He showed his true hand last season. The Red Sox didn't even want to go to him.
Yeah, but they need him.
Who? The Yankees need him?
No, the Red Sox do.
The Red Sox did. The Yankees don't need a guy like that in their bullpen.
No, I don't want any part of Craig Kimbrell, but the Red Sox.
You're gonna have Kimbrell throwing to the backstop and Chapman coming in.
But the Red Sox absolutely need to re-sign him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if the Yankees get Ottavino.
But again, guys, if you're gonna show me charts, critically think for 10 seconds, then come back to me and we can have a logical discussion about it.
Right.
Don't just show me, be like, oh, the Yankees made $600 million and they only spent $160 million on payroll. And here's another one that I love. Hal pockets the money. He owns a business. If you owned a business, what do you do with your revenue?
You just throw it on the street like it's raining money. You just throw it.
You put some of it back into the business so the business can grow, and then you profit it.
Here's my favorite.
You profit the money.
Here's my favorite one. The Yankees are worth $4 billion, whatever the hell it is now. He just keeps making money and lowering the payroll. He doesn't care about winning. Oh, he doesn't? Then just sell the team, right? If you don't care about winning, sell the team.
How does Hal Steinbrenner make his money?
By producing championship caliber teams that that can win.
Beyond that, how does Hal Steinbrenner make money? Come on, think about this for a second. How does Hal Steinbrenner make money? What has to happen for Steinbrenner to get money in his pocket?
People have to sit in the seats.
What's that again?
People have to buy tickets and sit in.
Say that one more time. Say that one more.
Sitting in the seats.
People have to go to Yankee games.
Buying all the beer.
Right. People have to go to Yankee games. If
right.
people don't
$10 hot dogs.
If people don't go to Yankee games, Hal Steinbrenner doesn't make money because guess what? The biggest driving force of revenue for the Yankees is what?
Ticket sales.
Okay. So if they don't make money on ticket sales, guess what Hal Steinbrenner doesn't make?
Money.
Okay.
Dinero.
Okay. If the Yankees are bad, if Hal Steinbrenner doesn't care about winning and the Yankees are bad, guess what happens?
People stop buying tickets.
And what happens when people stop buying tickets to Yankee games?
Hal Steinbrenner don't make that money.
Okay. So if Hal doesn't care about winning and all he cares about is making money, then how come
You know what we had there? We had a little Goodwill Hunting moment where someone keeps answering the equation on the board, but no one knows who it is. We just found the person. We just found Goodwill Hunting. We found Will.
I'm Ben Affleck.
No,
you'd be Matt Damon.
I'm definitely Ben Affleck.
No, because
you know what I fucking want for you? I want to show up to your fucking house one day, and I want to knock on your door, and I want you to be gone.
Okay, so if Hal doesn't care about winning, why he cares about only making money, but if you don't go to games because the Yankees aren't good, how's he making that money?
And ever since they reset this team, and this team has been fun, energetic, producing, their ticket sales have gone through.
Because guess what was down in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016? Guess what was down?
Ticket sales. People showing up. People showing up to the stadium.
Oh, and guess where he makes the buku bucks?
People showing up to the stadium.
When?
In the playoffs.
In the postseason.
Ooh, that's a big money.
That's where he makes the big money.
Do you see where we're taking this, folks?
And guess what? Guess where else he makes a ton of money?
Where?
In ad revenue on the YES Network. When people watch the games. And guess what they don't watch when the Yankees are bad?
The Yankees.
The Yankee games.
Come on, people. Wow. Use your brains a little, man.
Did he suddenly stop caring about the team, or did he listen to his general manager and say, hey, listen, we don't have to spend $15 million on Brian McCann because I got a guy to come up here for $500,000 and can mash home runs.
You should. I'll say it again.
And guess what they're making a ton of money off of, too? Aaron Judge jersey sales.
Yeah.
They weren't making that off of Carlos Beltran jerseys.
Listen, you should. I'll say it again. You
Number
should
99.
be ecstatic.
Yes.
At where this payroll sits and how talented this team is. How talented they are. Is this year a winner bust as far as expectation goes? Absolutely.
My minimum level of success for the Yankees in 2019 is an American League championship.
Absolutely. Is it winner bust in that sense? Absolutely. We're expecting it all. But if they don't win this year, does that mean that over the next 4 years they can't still do it?
No.
Absolutely not.
I had somebody tell me the other day that the Yankees don't win in 2019, their window is closed.
No, but that's the thing, man. That's what we're talking about right now. That's why all these people are flipping out. They think that just because this is our year, that this is supposed to be the year, means that this is it. It is the complete opposite. It is not it. This is when the Yankees go onto the field in 2019 and they are no longer rebuilding. That's all this is. It's very difficult. I don't care if you have the best team in the world. It's so difficult to win a World Series. You don't just win a World Series by purchasing every player that you want that's available. You still have to win games. You still have to go out there and be a team. This team is expected now to do what they're supposed to do and win at least a pennant. But if they don't, it can still happen. These guys are young, they're talented, they're energized, and they're hungry to win, especially after last year.
If you had to pick one team in baseball that has the greatest window for the next 5 years, from this year till year 5,
it's not even a question.
It's the New York Yankees.
It's not a question. We could be having the same debates next year and still expect a World Series, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that.
Yep.
So I hope that everybody takes what do we spend 15, 20 minutes on this? Just listen. If you don't listen to any of our other podcasts for the rest of the entire year, just play this last 15, 20 minutes on a loop.
Over and
Every
over.
time that you want to send me your charts and your graphs, just play this over and over again, because I just have a lowly business degree from some jerk off William Patterson University in northern New Jersey. So what the hell do I know, right?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And it took me
True.
5 minutes to connect all the dots and cross off all the T's, right? It took
But
me
you
5
didn't
minutes.
officially report it, so
It took me 5 minutes to figure all that out,
You know?
right?
you're right.
And I know there's people out there that are way smarter than me, but they
Right.
still can't figure this out.
Well, they're more respected than you and me. You know?
Okay. Okay. All right, so the Yankees did spend some money last night. They signed Zach Britton. Zach Britton is back. It's a very interesting contract. Here, you all right over there?
Yeah, sorry.
I have to. Sometimes I worry about you. I don't know if you're doing a bit or you're
It
having.
just goes into a trans you can't get out of.
1099.
It's 3 years for $39 million, but the Yankees, there's a 4th-year option. The Yankees have to pick up the option after the 2nd year of the contract, or it allows Britton to opt out of the contract after the 2nd year. And the option year is worth I believe it's $14 million.
They said 16.
I think I might have been wrong about that one. I told you last night.
So-
it's a little bit less than
So
that.
because it's 14, because of the 2nd year option where the Yankees have to decide then, does that make the opt out penalty disappear? If the Yankees don't opt out, he plays the 3rd year. Do the Yankees owe him anything? Like, you know how Gardner, if they
There's
didn't,
as far as I know,
there's
there's
no
no
buyout.
buyout option. No,
so that
because
was actually a nice move on both parts.
it's
it
either
really
opt
was.
out, is either the Yankees pick up the option, which instead, I think this is what they gave him instead of a buyout option, buyout clause, is they gave him the option to opt out.
Right. Okay.
Britton's deal includes both the club option and a potential player opt-out.
Wow.
Yankees can exercise a 4th year after 2020 worth $14 million. If the team chooses not to trigger the option, Britton can opt out of his deal, at which point he'll have made $26 million.
And if neither
It's a great
side
deal on both
Yeah.
sides.
and if neither side does that, then he plays the 3rd year for $13 million, and then they go the separate
And here's
ways.
here's what that does. It incentivizes Britton to have a good 2nd year and not just put all the pressure on him to have a good 3rd year. It really puts pressure on him during the middle of his contract to keep producing and hopefully the
where he
Yankees
could
pick up
be the
that
closer
4th
of
year.
this
Yeah,
team.
Absolutely.
It's a very realistic possibility that Zach Britton is the closer of the Yankees in
And guys,
2020.
if Zach Britton shows up as Zach Britton again this year, he's one of the best in baseball.
Think about this bullpen right now. If Zach Britton is back to Zach Britton, and then Betances and Chapman, the Yankees are going to be devastating from the 7th inning on.
And we gotta expect more out of Chad Green this year.
And you still got Chad Green out there, and Jonathan Holder, and they still have high hopes for Stephen Tarpley.
Jonathan Tarpley.
Steven.
And they're not done negotiating with Adam Ottavino. I think they're trying to get him into a certain price range.
You know what the Yankees did? They solidified their bullpen. I still think they should get Ottavino. I think they should do anything they can to get him. But they really solidified their bullpen to have
anything.
They have guys now that if they're losing in a tight game, that you still have some guys that you can throw out there that you're confident in, and still have guys like Britton, Chapman, Betances for the games that are, that you're looking to win and close it out.
I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Troy Tulowitzki. Can we have a moment of silence, please?
Sure. I know where you're taking this.
The casualty of Troy Tulowitzki joining the New York Yankees is A.J. Cole. He has been designated for assignment.
Bye-bye.
So Linus does not have his blanket this season.
Right. Bye-bye.
Everybody that listens knows that we're big Boone guys, but he had to take that away from him.
You think that was his toughest decision yet?
Who, Cashman?
With the Yankees? No, Boone, seeing that they DFA'd Cole. Was he upset over it?
I don't think he had a call on that.
I think he just meant
He didn't have a Cole?
He
didn't have the call on that.
Was that tough? Was that the toughest thing he's had to deal with since being manager?
Like, he probably had to tell him, though. Call him in the office.
Maybe. I'm sure he was a part of it.
Hand in his playbook.
I don't know.
Hard Knocks.
In the offseason, don't you just get a text for something like that?
Honestly, he probably found out through Twitter.
AJ, this is Cash. AJ, this is Cash. You're done. Goodbye.
Well, I'm sure someone had it on Twitter before the Yankees even.
That's how a lot of players find out. I think Ian Kinsler was vacationing in Hawaii or something, and he found out he was traded.
That's awful.
So the other side of Britton coming to the Yankees is that David Robertson is not a Yankee anymore. He signed a 2-year, $23 million deal with the Phillies. The $23 million includes $2 million guaranteed to him if the club does not pick up his third-year option.
I don't ever want to say I'm happy to see Dave Robertson go. He's been one of my favorite Yankees every year that he's been here. But we had that feeling. We've had it all offseason that his time was up with this team, whether it be with the whole playoff share thing or whatever. The Yankees just never showed that genuine interest.
Because at that price, wouldn't you think it would almost be a slam dunk to bring him back?
It really, he got so underpaid, in my opinion.
He got the same contract that Andrew Miller got, $223 with the third-year option. Same contract.
Yeah, but Andrew Miller has also been proven to not stay on the field the last couple of years.
I understand that, but either of those guys at those numbers, I mean, I thought they would have been slam dunks for the Yankees, which shows you that the Yankees weren't confident about Miller's health because they requested his medical information early in the offseason. They did, yep. And Mark Feinsand was on with Francesa earlier in the week, and Mike asked him about the real reason that Robertson isn't here right now because of the playoff share thing, and Feinsand kind of made it sound like it wasn't a big deal at all. Like that's not.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't.
But at that point, though, is it because the Yankee? It doesn't. If the Yankees are still in on Ottavino, it's not the Yankee. It's not to me. See, here's how I would think about it: the Yankees targeted Britton as their top priority for the bullpen, right? So they got him. So if that was the only reliever they wanted to sign this year, then yeah, it makes sense that they let Robertson go and they didn't really show much interest in Miller. But they're still in on Ottavino, so they wanted to sign two relievers.
Yeah, they want to make sure that money is free. They weren't going to spend it on Robertson or Miller.
But to me, isn't it less of a risk to bring back Robertson than Adam Ottavino? To me,
absolutely.
I don't know.
But especially at that money that they're paying
2 years.
But how old is Ottavino?
He's older. Isn't he a little bit older?
He's been around for a few years.
Britton is younger than him.
Oh, no, I'm talking David Robertson.
He's turning 34 this year?
Who?
David Robertson?
No, I'm saying compared to
33.
Oh, wow.
And isn't Robertson turning 34 this year? Or is he?
I thought Ottavino was a little bit younger. So, yeah, I mean, I guess
you're going to have to
you're right.
You're going to give him a 2 or 3 year contract.
D-Rob also 33.
Okay.
Wow. So, yeah, you're right in that sense. I guess I agree.
He'll be 34 at the start of the year. Ottavino will be 34 at the end of the year.
I think the Yankees were just ready to part ways. I really do. I think that's just what it comes down to.
Not based off performance, though.
No.
So that even though Feinsand, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. I think it was more they really wanted to sign Britton first, and whoever was available after they got Britton was going to be who they target.
That could definitely be.
Like, I think Robertson would have been someone that they were going to try and get, but not until after Britton was signed.
But if the whole point was to sign two guys, why does it matter what order it came in?
Because if you have a top priority, you're going based off your plan. If Britton's your top priority, you're seeing what you're spending on him and then who else is available. If at that point they get Britton and then you have Robertson and Ottavino available, then you're really weighing your options in that sense. You're not weighing any options until you get your guy that you want. And that was
now
Britton.
They have no options. It's either Ottavino or stay internally.
Right. So you go get Ottavino. Okay. And that's what they're trying to do.
It's funny, though, that you think about it, that the Yankees aren't even talking about Craig Kimbrell. It is honestly that you
why in my head did I think Kimbrell went somewhere?
He didn't. He's still.
Do you get Ottavino just so the Red Sox are forced to sign Craig Kimbrell? Because they need to make a bullpen move, the Red Sox.
Somebody argued with me on Twitter yesterday because I said that as the teams stand currently, the Yankees are more complete than the Boston Red Sox.
You know, I'm so happy you said that. I was going to tweet something like that, and I just didn't feel like dealing with all the people that were going to come at me. In no way will I sit here and say the Yankees are more talented?
And this was before Britton signed, and I still felt that way.
Because until the Yankees can beat the Red Sox, they are not more talented. The Red Sox have earned that. However, if you're talking about a complete balanced team, I thought of this just last night. If you really want to break it down, the Yankees are a much more complete team than they are.
Don't forget, the Red Sox also lost Joe Kelly. I mean, he's not the greatest bullpen guy, but who do they have in their bullpen?
That's what I said. I said that to somebody last night, and I said, you as Yankee fans, we laugh at Joe Kelly and Craig Kimbrell, but they're still really good relief pitchers.
Yeah.
And that was your closer and your top setup guy off of a World Series team, and they're not there anymore.
No.
And Joe Kelly had a great postseason. I mean, he was a big part of that.
He's
World
a sucker
Series.
punch. He's a sucker punching biatch.
Absolutely.
He didn't win that fight, but I give him credit for.
And then you have you want to have question
pitcher.
marks in our starting rotation. They have plenty also. You don't know the health of Chris Sale. He was really hurting last year.
David Price stepped up and showed some gumption in the postseason, but
is
he
that
still
going to
sucks.
last? I mean, is he going to let that carry over? Who knows?
Rick Porcello's hit and miss.
He is, and then you got Eduardo Rodriguez, who
he's a 4-5.
You know what though?
Right.
Eduardo Rodriguez, his biggest upside is that he beats the Yankees. The Yankees don't hit him well.
But he doesn't throw strikes either. He has trouble throwing strikes.
And then Evaldi, he's going to be their closer this year.
But again, we talked about it on our end where
I'm telling you, you might be right, but I don't think that was their.
You just can't.
If they don't go out and get a top flight reliever, which there aren't.
Where are they going to get a starter from then? They need another. Huh?
Yeah, man, I don't know.
I just don't see it realistically that Evaldi goes into the bullpen after what he did last year. I think he has earned, if he wants to be a starting pitcher, he has earned the right to prove that he can stay healthy.
I honestly think he'd be unhittable as a closer, but I just I don't think that was the Red Sox thought process.
I don't know. We'll see.
But again, we're not asking all these questions about the Yankees right now. Who's going to be the closer? If our starter becomes a closer, who's going to start? The only question we really have right now is CeCe going to be healthy in 2019, at least to start the year? That is truly the biggest question mark that we have right now. Even if they don't get Machado, are we questioning who's going to play third? Are we questioning right now who's going to play shortstop? No. I mean, that's it.
Is it?
To me,
that's the only question mark is who's going to be the fifth starter?
Well, I didn't say that necessarily. I said the question mark lies on if CeCe's going to be healthy.
Because Gary Sanchez can't catch a baseball.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Miguel Andujar has stone hands at third base.
Well, I was trying to segue into...
I know what you're doing, but I'm just... Luke Voigt is he what's that song, Steal My Sunshine? Steal My Sunshine?
You are my sunshine.
No, that's not it.
My only sunshine.
That's not it. Remember...
You make me happy.
Okay, forget it. I was going down the road of one-hit wonders.
When Sonny Gray.
Greg Bird is terrible at everything that he does in life. Brett Gardner needs a wheelchair to get around.
No, I don't.
Giancarlo Stanton
sucks. He just sucks.
Just absolutely terrible.
He strikes out.
So we have I've had people tell me that Aaron Judge can't be the face of the Yankees because he strikes out too much.
Right. That's actually accurate. Yep.
So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Well,
Luis Severino's not an ace.
Right.
James Paxton's injury prone.
That's true.
J. Happ holds back the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Masahiro Tanaka's elbow is going to fall off.
Someone told me the other day Tanaka should have been traded. I said, have you not watched the last 2 years of postseasons when he's been the only pitcher who's lights out?
Outside of the regular season in 2017, have you not watched any game that he ever pitched?
Seriously. I mean, just go get a life somewhere else, please.
Aroldis Chapman has a bad knee. Dellin Betances can't close. Zach Britton is a bum.
Our payroll sucks. Yes. We're like 8th.
There's a lot of
questions. Bro. You're right. I shouldn't have said something so idiotic as I just did. I apologize. I what is it? Retract?
You redacted.
I redact my statement. There are plenty of question marks. But if CeCe isn't healthy, who's our option?
Well, this was kind of a little bit of news that came out after the Tulowitzki signing, when the Yankees officially announced it, that the Yankees are a little bit more concerned about CeCe's angioplasty heart condition,
which I thought they should have been right from the start. I mean, it's heart surgery.
Then they maybe initially let on. That Cashman has kind of backtracked a little bit about trading Sonny Gray. His let me bring up his exact quote here. This is from Brian Hoke. Sonny Gray could come to spring training as a Yankee. As Brian Cashman said, our intention is still to move Sonny Gray and relocate him when we get the proper return, whether that happens in the winter, the spring, or sometime during the season. And then he goes on to say that CeCe's health has also now given him, quote, pause about trading Sonny Gray.
Okay, don't you think that's even more of a slap in the face?
Yeah.
That statement? Like, hey, Sonny, listen, we really want to relocate you. That was a great word by Cashman. We really want to relocate you, and we hate you, and we don't want you to pitch, but you're probably
CeCe has a heart attack and died.
You're probably still our best option if CeCe's not available right now.
The big man's heart can't go.
But don't worry, we're still going to trade you.
We're still trying to get you out of here because you cannot pitch at Yankee Stadium, and you're the boulder that keeps falling back on us, but if we need you, we're probably going to keep you, okay?
Until we trade you.
Is Sonny Gray a good option if CeCe Sabathia not able to start?
I will say this, and I say this genuinely from the bottom of my heart. If Sonny Gray is still on this team next season and the Yankees feel he's the best option if CeCe isn't healthy, I will never, ever disagree with the Yankees more in my life than that. Yeah. I think after everything that's been said, take away what he's done over the last couple of years.
You said the most important thing there. Everything that's been said.
Right. Take away everything he's done on the field. Everything that's been said at this point, to then just expect this guy to go back out there and to be your best option at that point. I'm sorry. The bridge is burned. The bridge is burned. He needs to go.
If Brian Cashman, and I said this 100 times and I'll say it again, if Brian Cashman never said any of the things he said about Sonny Gray in the offseason and then decided he wanted to keep him here as insurance, his sixth man, pitch out of the bullpen, I had no problem with it.
Yeah,
absolutely none.
And listen, we'd still all be frustrated if CeCe was injured and Gray was in the starting rotation to start 2019, but it would be a lot more logical. And at this point, after all of that, it just can't happen. We've said it how many times? It just can't.
You cannot say all these things about a guy and then expect him to perform at any type of representative level for you.
No.
Especially a guy that kind of has shown signs that he's maybe not mentally there to pitch for New York.
I don't want to equate it to being verbally abused in a marriage, but like, let's say, you were talking to your wife and you suck at cooking, you can't clean my house.
We're gonna get a divorce. I don't know if it's gonna be right now.
I'm gonna relocate you to another husband.
Relocate.
You never do anything with the kids. When's the last time you changed the diaper?
You're like a boulder, and I just can't.
And then
all of a sudden you're gonna expect her to have sex with you,
and then you have open heart surgery, and you can't move
your
and do any of those things.
A little limited.
Yeah. You go, you know what, babe?
I'm
still gonna
get you the fuck out of here.
I'm not gonna turn back on my word because I'm that kind of guy.
I still hate you, but I might keep you around for a couple more months.
Is that okay?
Like,
if I didn't just have,
and I really want you to do a good job on all your housework too. Like, and
and keep it up. Try to help me out.
Please, I said please.
Please, like, you still suck. You're still a bitch. Yeah. I still hate your guts. You still don't clean the house. Every time you cook, I want to friggin' throw up, and I don't want my kids anywhere near you. But could you occasionally come in here and lay with me in bed and do some wifely things? But when I feel better, I'm going to throw you the hell out of here.
Right.
That's exactly what Brian Cashman is saying to Sonny Gray right now.
It really is. That was a little deep. That went extensive, but it is really. I mean, what the listeners did just now is they put themselves in the wife's shoes,
which is Sonny Gray.
Yeah. Right. And they really felt it, and I felt your aggression there. And they said, "Wow, how could that wife want to stay with with that husband.
Sonny's listening to this.
Who said all that?
What's he saying, Chris?
And that's exactly what Sonny Gray said. And he's saying, well, Brian told me that, I was a boulder that came down and I really sucked here, but now he needs me, so I'm going to go out there and I think I'll have my best stuff as long as Austin Roman's catching me. But, it's not going to happen. If Sonny Gray takes the ball, and I'm sorry, and I don't blame the guy. If Sonny Gray takes the ball for this team, you know what I would be thinking? Fuck this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm being used at this point. He's being used because they need him. You can't, as a general manager, and I'm sorry, I love Brian Cashman, but you can't make those statements and then backtrack. You just cannot do it.
No, I tweeted it the other day. It would be a major, major blunder on his part to bring this guy to Tampa, to have Sonny Gray stroll in with his gym bag. Hey, guys, I'm here.
Right. You can't do it.
It's a great point. That's a great way to look at it.
You just can't. You cannot do it. But you know what?
No.
Let's think of it. Let's take all that into consideration. Gray can't be here. Who's your next guy? Who is it? Herman? Chance Adams?
Here's a guy we don't talk about when we think about where the Yankees are going to go for bullpen options. Domingo Germán should be a bullpen arm. His stuff is really good. Really good.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how good it really is.
Hey, don't forget about Loizaga as well.
You know what? I would honestly...
Loizaga needs to stay a full year
in AAA and learn how to be a starting pitcher.
But here's my thing.
I like him, though.
And that's a great point by you. I think that's part of the reason why the Yankees had their eyes on Zach Britton, and until that happened, they weren't going to go elsewhere because maybe they are thinking Domingo Germán can be a bullpen guy if all else fails. Maybe.
You know what the Yankees need?
If you're thinking it, you got to assume Cashman's thinking it.
How many guys are in a bullpen? 7 or 8? What do they usually
Yankees carry 13 pitchers. 5 of them are starters.
So then 8 bullpen arms. What do you think the bullpen's going to be?
Well, you got Britton, Betances, Chapman, Green, Holder. That's 5, right?
You have 3 more spots.
Tarpley's probably going to get a spot.
I would go Tarpley.
Steven or Jonathan?
Whichever one the Yankees want to bring up.
They'll figure that part out.
And I'm sure, I don't know, they'll probably, maybe Sessa could be a long guy.
We gotta be forgetting about people. No. Who are we missing?
Did we say Chad Green?
I think so. We'll get back to this. I'll write it all out.
Okay. Excuse me. I know Chris isn't going to like this, but the Yankees have kept tabs on what Adam Warren is doing this offseason.
But listen, just because I've never been a big Adam Warren fan doesn't mean I wouldn't be happy about that. If you're telling me that they're going to possibly bring Adam Warren back, I can't say that that's a bad idea. It's just not. This team still needs more bullpen arms. Adam Warren has always been, I may not think he's always the greatest, but he's always at least been reliable.
Yeah, he's a reliable guy.
He is. So I'm not going to sit here and be unhappy if they bring him back.
Yeah, we didn't miss anybody. We didn't miss anyone.
We got to be okay. Cole was one
here's
of the
the 2 spots we're missing. Adam Cole. I'm thinking about
Ottavino.
No,
AJ Cole.
AJ Cole and Robertson from last year. That's what fill out the bullpen.
But Tarpley wasn't there all year.
Well, that's still a guy that's there now.
Did they only?
Well, they had
Warren. What? The Yankees actually only had 7 relievers for a while, I want to say. Because they had Torres and someone else up here with Wade, I think. And then you had Walker and all them. So for a while, it could have just been 7 guys.
They rotated. A lot of times, they only had 3 bench
Sonny
guys.
Gray was in the bullpen for a while.
That's true, too. Sonny Gray's another guy that was in the bullpen.
Right.
So yeah, I mean they gotta fill those spots.
Tommy Kahnle.
Oh, Kahnle, there you go.
Yeah, but that's another guy. He's a major wild card for this team in 2019.
Yeah, but you know what? Domingo Germán could be a great option. That's a great call.
What are the Yankees' options if CC can't start the season, or if he, God forbid, this is way worse than any of us thought, and he just decides to retire?
Oh, jeez.
What are the Yankees' options? That's where a guy like Lance Lynn would have come in.
I'm not even saying geez on because I'm a Yankee. I'm saying that would just be awful for CC.
Oh yeah,
in general. But
not that you want to give Lance Lynn 3 years, but a guy like that, he would have been a.
But you know what? We've
guy.
had Chance Adams. He's clearly just not going anywhere. he did show signs that he could be a competent fifth starter for us right now. Why not give him a shot?
You know what?
I'm done with Luis Cessa, bro. I'm done watching him.
Why not give him a chance?
A chance. A real
Yeah, I
chance.
could honestly see that being the case.
Because if you're the Yankees, you're really just trying to get through the first 3 months of the season with your fifth starter. That's all you're doing, and then you're going to go make a trade in July.
Yeah. Yep.
It just can't. It cannot. It just. I can't stress this enough. It cannot be Sonny Gray. It can't.
And I honestly, I don't even hold much merit behind what Cashman's saying with it. I just see it as him stalling to get this deal done. And
is it just mind games where he's like, hey guys, like if you don't give me what I want, I'll just keep him. I don't care,
that's
guys.
exactly what it is. I mean, they're at a need now. The Yankees have a little bit more leverage to say, I'm not giving him up for nothing. I don't even have a fifth starter right now. He's going to be my fifth starter. So if you don't give me what I want, I'm not just throwing him out at you. I think that's all this is.
All right, before we wrap up the show, this did come out yesterday that Brian Hoke tweeted it. There was another piece of information here too, if I could find it real quick.
On who? What do you?
The Yankees were awarded another option on Domingo Germán. I don't know how that works, but he has another option now. And Cessa, maybe they traded options. They took one away from Cessa and gave it to him.
That would be fine with me.
But I don't know. I don't think it actually works like that. But Germán has an extra option, and Luis Cessa is now out of options. So
finally,
when is Luis Cessa no longer a Yankee?
Very soon.
No, not very soon.
Very soon.
After his first appearance, like he'll get shelled.
After they announce Zach Britton.
You think he's going to be you think he'll be designated for Zach Britton?
Yes.
What's your call?
Who else is going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the 40
I don't know.
man.
They gave up. There was a couple names like that guy Tulo Castro. I don't know how much the Yankees have a need for him.
He's on the 40 man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
No,
I mean, we don't want.
They do need a need. They do have a need for him though, because what's our outfield depth right now? Do we know if Clint Frazier is definitely going to be healthy? Do we know that Ellsbury is going to be healthy?
You're going down a bad path right there. If you're going to say the Yankees need outfielders and name Tulo Castro while these people are screaming about Bryce Harper.
But what I'm saying is he's not as expendable as you think. They got him for a reason last year, and that reason is still there right now.
Bro, come on. These guys are a dime a dozen. So, I mean, if you really need to go down that route, I'm sure they could find somebody.
I think it's got to be
Ben
Luis
Heller.
Cessa.
I mean, we don't want it to happen because we have
Heller.
a relationship with the guy, but Ben Heller's an option.
Who's Joe Harvey?
He's another option. He's out of options.
Harvey. What about Kyle Higashioka?
I don't know. I guess
That could definitely happen.
Yeah, but he might have options left, and you can always use a third catcher with major league experience.
But here's my thing. Luis Cessa doesn't have options, so
Domingo
he's got to
Acevedo?
start on...
Acevedo?
No, why would the Yankees get rid of him?
No, he's friggin' phenomenal.
I'm just throwing names out there.
Listen, Cessa can start in the minor leagues, correct? But if they call him up, that's it. The only way he goes bye-bye is
Where did
if
he
they
finish
DFA
the season?
Thairo Estrada?
No, these are guys all with options, so the Yankees have no need to get rid of them.
So then it's going to
if
be
Cessa
Ben Heller.
finished the
Or Luis
season on the major league roster,
which I think he did.
he cannot be sent back down without being designated.
And then that to me, it's got to be him. Because we have too many guys that we just named that deserve a chance now over him. Because I'm done. I'm done with him. We've been done with him for 3 years now. So get him out of here. Ship him with Sonny Gray.
I'm getting out of this studio right now.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, unfortunately, Ben Heller.
Really?
Yeah.
Then why tender him a contract?
Because you have to do because these things will have deadlines, so you have to do things at certain times,
If he's truly like your next in line, if he's that high up on the totem pole of guys you're just going to release off the 40 man, why do it?
Because here we go back to it. Why did the Yankees sign Tulowitzki? Because it gives you insurance in case Machado doesn't sign. Same thing. If the Yankees, maybe they see something in Heller, but now they have Britton, maybe they don't see it.
But why not take 3 guys that you truly see as guys that you're just going to get rid of to clear up space and not tender them a contract? Why not just do that?
Because at the time they thought they needed him. Now they maybe don't think they need him anymore. You have to take these things in order as they happen. It's like you were saying with David Robertson. Like, the Yankees will sign him now, but he's gone because their priority was Zach Britton. So, excuse me, maybe if they signed, if Machado agreed to a deal 3 weeks ago, maybe Tulowitzki's not here. You have to take these things in order that they happen.
Yeah, right.
So when they had to tender these guys' contracts, Heller was a priority because they didn't have guys in their bullpen.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
You know what I would feel really right about? Getting a nice 5-star review to kick off the new year on iTunes.
I agree.
Same.
I agree. Especially after this episode. You can't sit here, if you're still listening, and tell me that this wasn't one of the best episodes that you've heard.
Very educational episode.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I was going to say that.
Seriously.
Very educational. I learned a lot.
This is this was a better education than the education I got in college. Like, if I was a Yankee fan and I was like, "Ooh, look at this chart, guys."
They owe us money.
And I listened to this, I'd be like, "Wow, I'm smart now."
Right.
NYY Sports Talk really gave me an education.
I agree.
They really do care about this team, the Steinbrenners.
That's always our hope, right? That everyone walks away and says, "Wow, I never thought," but really all they're doing is leaving this and going, "These guys are fucking idiots. They think that just because they need to spend more money. They're wrong.
Now, I won't disagree with anybody that says that the ultimate bottom line for Hal is making money, but it comes
shouldn't it be? I mean,
but it comes hand in hand with winning.
Hey guys, I'm going to start a business, but I promise you, making money isn't going to be my top priority.
It'd be like,
okay, then you're an awful owner. Sorry.
Especially in baseball, because it's such a long year. If you are bad, fans will not show up. It's not like basketball. Like the Knicks, they've been bad for a decade now, but people still go there every single night because of it's the Garden or whatever.
Yeah, the Giants have been bad for 5 years now, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's different. There's only 8
That's what
games.
I'm saying. That's what I'm going to his point. The Giants have been bad for how long now? The stadium's filled every Sunday.
Yep.
Right.
Because there's only 8 times to go see your team. Now you got 82 times to see your team. You get your fill of the season out in April, and you're like, this team sucks. I don't care for the rest of the year.
And outside of
look at Baltimore, look at Camden Yards. It was a joke this year.
But they would have to declare bankruptcy if it wasn't so close to New York.
And then think of it like this too. The Knicks still fill up the Garden, right? How many of those fans aren't Knicks fans? They're fans of the other team playing, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is they play half the amount of games at home. And the third thing is, how many fans does an arena hold?
Yeah, not
20,000, 22,000. We're talking about double that at Yankee Stadium pretty much. They have to produce a good team. That's Hal's top priority because making money is his biggest priority because it should be. It should be. If it's not, then he's an awful owner. Awful.
Yeah, for basketball, it's 19,800.
People just think that you have a Yankee emblem on your shirt and money just flows in. No, it doesn't work that way. Never will.
Because honestly, you said this earlier, and before we wrap up, you should touch on it just a quick second. Think about if this team went through a real rebuild where they were like truly bad and lost 95 games for 3 or 4 years.
And you can't sit here and tell me that the Yankees didn't have that in the back of their minds where when they let go of all those guys in 16, in the back of their mind, they weren't thinking in 17 they were going to be in Game 7 of the ALCS. No. This happened because they got the right guys. They nurtured some other guys that they already had, and they came up and they did something that doesn't just happen to every team. They came up and produced in a major way.
I've never seen it happen.
If you injected Brian Cashman with truth serum, he would never tell you that he expected to be a contender.
I think he's almost said that in his own way, where he said you can never expect a team to go that far after what you just did. But they did. They did do it.
So we'll close the show out on this little math equation here in case you checked out during the 20-minute preamble there from my lowly business degree from my North Jersey college, right? You're a business owner, right?
Okay, got it.
You're a business owner. Yep. If you don't make money, what's the one thing you don't have anymore?
A business.
Oh,
right.
And you have to sell a product or provide a service to make
money. especially in New York.
So what you're telling me is, if the Yankees don't win, fans won't continue to spend $20 on tickets or up to $1,000 on tickets and $40 to park and $10 for a beer and $50 on food before they even sit in their seat?
We live in New Jersey, right? How much money, not including the ticket price, how much money are we spending out of pocket before we even step foot in Yankee Stadium?
Okay, ready? Let's do it.
$70,
$15 to cross the bridge, right?
Okay.
There's 15 there. $40 to park.
So we're out $55 before we even step foot in Yankee
And that's
Stadium.
okay.
before gas
then,
money.
Then you wait in the heat in the summertime on a line that's obnoxious to get into the stadium. Christian's a little dehydrated. We need to get a couple waters. Oh, but they don't have the regular size bottles of waters. They have the really big size where they can charge you $6
yep.
for a water, right? So why don't we, and while we're up here and we waited on this line, Christian, why don't we get a pretzel and a hot dog, maybe even some chicken fingers and fries? I don't know. It depends on the day. By the time we sit in our seats, we're spending $100 easy.
And that's not even including how much it costs for me to put my ass in that seat.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And why am I doing that?
Because you want to go see your team win a ball game.
Yeah. And now I'm not saying I won't go to games if they're bad. I will go to less games
Absolutely.
if they are bad.
It's not going to be a priority for you to spend that kind of money on a team that isn't producing.
Since I've been with my wife, we have a tradition that we
And here, wait, I just want to cut you off because I just want to say they could lose 162 games. Are you still watching as many games as you would if they won 100? You still are.
Maybe
You're
not
still
as
watching.
many. It's hard. It would be hard to really get yourself
Of course,
invested
but
in the
what
game
I'm
in
trying,
September.
but the point I'm trying to make is
You might not finish watching as many games
Right.
if they're that bad.
But my point I'm trying to make is
tune them in.
just because we're saying we wouldn't put ourselves in the seats as much doesn't mean that we're fair weather fans.
No.
It just means that spending money to go do that
Wouldn't be a priority.
in a world that is so expensive wouldn't be a priority to us.
So as I was saying, since I've been with my wife, we've been together. This will be 13 years.
45
Jesus
years, pretty
Christ.
much.
We've been together 13
65 years, you two?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay. The first Saturday home game that the Yankees play, we go to.
Oh.
Okay?
Every year.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
There's been some years where it's been an exception because of whatever, and we'll go to the next one, or we'll go on Sunday or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That might, if they're bad, if they're truly bad, not putting money into this team and not caring about winning, might be the only game I go to all year.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case. So I'll go to, or if they're having a good giveaway, like I'll go to a bobblehead day. But that might be it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna call Chris up on a random Wednesday and be like, "Hey, bro, want to go to the game tonight?"
And it's not because you're not a good fan. It's because there's a lot of other things in life when you take it into perspective that are way more important than a game. But that kind of gets clouded when your team is winning and you want to be a part of it and you spend that kind of money to be there. And the only way that fans go out of their way to do that is if this team is relevant, and they have never been more relevant in our lifetime other than when they had that dynasty, but we haven't had that in a long time. This is the most relevant they've been in 20 years.
Money and winning go hand in hand. That's what people need.
They always will.
They have to
They always
understand
will.
that. Hal doesn't care about winning. Or, okay, maybe he doesn't. And that's not the first and foremost thing on his mind. But what's the one thing that he wants to do more than anything?
Make money.
And how's he going to do that?
By winning.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening to episode 94 of the NYY Sports Talk podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. Stat Guy Rye, say what you always say.
Go Yanks.
And Chris, say goodbye.